What is up, world? You are in tune to the Know It All podcast. And of course, you got your usual suspects with you today on Father's Day and Juneteenth, both of them together. So it was a great day. What's up, G? How you doing, man?
Warriors, come out and play. Warriors, come out and play.
This guy, man. Let's move on to the
next. Yeah.
Let's move on to the next. Big Tape, man. How you doing today, man? How are you?
What's up, Mod? I'm good, man. It's been been a good weekend, man. Father's Day, no kids here, but I got a lot of fathers and father figures I appreciate, and I've been one to some. And Juneteenth, man, Abraham Lincoln declared the Emancipation Proclamation January 1st, 1863, and word didn't get to your home state of Texas until June 19th, 1865, man.
Hey, man, we was doing bad. We was doing bad. But look, if you like the content that you are getting, make sure you like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe on YouTube and Twitch. So when we go live, man, definitely you'll be right there to get that information. And, man, we're going to definitely get to a lot. We got Relly Hall with us today, man. We're going to talk NBA wrap-up. We're going to talk all this news, all this chitter-chatter and Twitter fingers that's happening. We are going to get it in. But first, we're going to start like this. And once again, you got the world famous Know It All podcast, man. And look, we got a special guest with us today, man. We got my man Relly Hall. Relly, what is popping, man? How you doing?
Doing good, man. How y'all doing?
Oh man, we doing it, man. We doing it
good, man.
Here in Know It All land. So you got three Know It Alls, man. So you gotta run with us, man. You definitely gotta run with us. Hey, if you would, man, just go and give us a brief introduction. Give the people a brief introduction of who you are and what you do, man.
Yeah, man. I'm Relly Hall, man. I do a lot of Cavs content, watch a lot of basketball. Out there in University of Toledo. So if you a University of Toledo graduate, I'm your guy too. So yeah, that's what I do. Cavs content. Love the Cavs, love basketball, love the NBA.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. You see that somebody came already ready for this interview. They decked out in their gear. I'm not gonna say who. We can obviously see. Definitely we can check it out, man. Look, so I want to jump right into this, man. So first of all, I definitely want to talk about the Warriors winning the championship. But, man, let's get on these hot takes first, man. I just got to, there's a whole bunch of Twitter fingers and a whole bunch of Twitter mess being said right now, man. And Clay was talking tough, man. Let's listen to what Clay had to say, man. Let's check this out.
Well, I can't wait. There was this one player on the Grizzlies who tweeted strength in numbers after they beat us in the regular season, and it pissed me off so much. I can't wait to retweet that thing. Freaking bum. I had to watch that. I'm just like, this freaking clown.
Wow. Wow. He didn't say he liked him. He didn't say they were friends and they was gonna go out to eat. He called him a bum, man. And definitely that's when the Twitter beef started. We got John Morant said got a lot of real estate. So basically laughing like, man, I got real estate in your head. And KJ said, hey, man, we really out here living rent free. And then the next one was Draymond. He said that, well, first of all, let's get that was out of order. Here we go. He said right here in the next one, Draymond said, we traded that real estate and at John Morant, the property value was higher in Boston. So definitely then they tweeted out the fact that they play them next month. He said I'm spending in the reply to Draymond's thing. And then they play, where's that one at? So they play on Christmas, and John Morant said, nah, bring them to the trenches, basically, because it says the Warriors-Grizzly game is in San Francisco, but all guaranteed at this point. And he's like, nah, bring them to Memphis. And that's when Draymond said the chance play at home, young, Christmas Day, LJ, and then with the praying hands. Listen, I'm going to tell you, at this point, I can say John Morant is strong in his trash talk, but so is Draymond. And Clay's comments was like, wow. So I'm gonna start with you, Relly, man. When you seen these comments and you seen what Clay said, what was the first thing that popped to your mind, man?
I like it. That's that competitive edge we've been asking for a couple of years now. And John Morant being a young up-and-coming star, he want to see him. And that's what we've been looking for that for a couple of years, instead of people joining top 5, top 10 talent and then taking the easy way out. So I think this is exactly what we need, especially if they're saying John Morant is the next starter in the face of the league.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait to. I'm gonna save you for last take because you jumping at the bit and I know it. G, what did you think about this Twitter exchange and what Clay said in the press conference?
I side with Mr. Hall. Ja is out there balling. And if and I said already off camera, and it could be a hot take or not, I said that Memphis might be the favorites going into next year to winning the chip. All injuries all aside, I think Ja's going to hit that gym. I think he's going to work on his game, and that team is going to come back together in Memphis, and they're going to be hard to beat. Them boys felt that they should have beat Golden State. If Jordan Poole don't grab Ja's knee, hey, do the Warriors does Memphis get the chip? So that's how they feeling right now. So I'm riding with Ja on this one because, Draymond sort of needs to be quiet. He's long in the tooth. Now, Clay coming back with injury, yeah, but Draymond, you need to be quiet because you don't want to wake that young bull up. That young bull is ready to go. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and Draymond's a little washed. So, you got to kind of proceed with caution, man. He's a little washed. Tate, I gotta hear it. I can't wait, man, because you the one with the sarcastic comments all the time, and you like stirring the pot. How do you feel about this, man? How did this make you feel to hear Clay talk greasy?
Man, I don't want to stir no pot, man. I don't want to start no trouble, man. But I agree with you. I agree with Mod about Draymond. We call him Draymond Whirlpool Green. Washed. I mean, he had a good game 7, but I mean, Are we calling 9 points or 10 points and 8 boards? He got 8 assists. That was a good game for him. And he's the glue that makes them run. But I was just asking Big G off camera. Golden State got some decisions to make, man. Do they keep Draymond Green? Do they keep Andrew Wiggins and Jordan Poole? Like, who's in, who's out in Golden State? Clay, man, Clay was just being Clay. That's how Clay is. You remember? He got LeBron stirred up back in the day in 2016 in the finals. Mm-hmm. And he kind of, I don't know if that was motivation, but he kind of paid for all that talking. Mm-hmm. But I kind of side with John Morant because it was an old tweet. He going back, they won the NBA finals. He going back to January, February, talking about a tweet back then. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? And that's, I agree with, man. I live in your head rent free. The fact that you're still thinking about that.
Because obviously you've been thinking about it since then.
You've been stewing. You've been ready to get it off. You know what I'm saying? And getting it off. I mean, listen, you won the championship. And here's the thing. They both were saying y'all done messed up. Draymond, Andre Iguodala, they were like, y'all done messed up. Y'all let us win another one, right? We weren't even supposed to get this one. Y'all done messed up, and we're gonna be even better next year, right? So I'm listening to what they're saying. I mean, this is not just those Twitter exchanges. There were more things that, I mean, they were literally going in. Andre Iguodala was even saying, he was basically saying, man, you can't leave us out the basketball narrative. Y'all talking about 75 years, you can't leave us out. With Dub, we done won 4. You know what I'm saying? And here's the question I got to throw to you guys, and then we'll move on to the next topic. Let me ask you, do you guys feel like this nullifies the greatness of LBJ? Because you didn't get 4 people who won, or one team that won 4 chips while Jordan was playing. There's a whole lot of people who didn't get championships because Michael Jordan was playing. I'm gonna be quiet, and I need some people to answer this. So I'm gonna jump to you, Relly, since you're our guest. How do you feel about that? Steph winning 4 in the era of
man,
LeBron James.
Real quick, one of us got some feedback. There, I think it went away right there. So, all right.
I think it may be Relly.
Oh shoot.
While you fixing it, we'll go to you, Tate. Tate, talk to me.
About the Steph LeBron thing?
Yeah, winning 4 in the era of LBJ.
Man, I mean that's a feat, but I mean I don't know. There's LBJ's era. I mean he's the best player of the era. He's up there with the greats. But I mean, if you look at the All-Star, LeBron got like 18, 19 All-Star games. Clay got 8. You know, LeBron got 4 MVPs. Clay got 2. LeBron got 4 championships. Been the MVP in every one of them. Clay got 1. I mean, you know. Clay is like Big G has been saying.
Well, we're talking about Steph. We're talking about Steph.
Yeah, well, you know that's what I mean. You know I really didn't mean Clay. That was definitely an accident. Well, Steph, everything I said Clay, I meant Steph. And Big G said, been saying for the past few weeks, if he win this championship, he going to the top 10. And Big G gave his list, on the back channel earlier. He moved Steph into the top 10. He moved him at 10. LeBron is at 2. So I don't even think it's a discussion. I mean, it's good. It's good for people that want to try and poke holes at LeBron, and the people that really like Jordan better than LeBron. They want to say, oh, well, this is, Jordan did this and LeBron couldn't hold these guys off from getting titles. The game is different now, man. I mean, there's no competition between Steph and LeBron, though.
All right, G. So how you feel about it, man? Talk to me, man. Do you feel as if this kind of tarnishes LBJ's legacy, the fact that Steph got 4 in the time in which he was playing?
I don't think it tarnishes LBJ's legacy. I think what it does is it quantifies Stephon Curry's legacy as legitimately being a top 10 player of all time. Stephon Curry is my number 10. LeBron James is my number 3. The number 10 guy beat the number 3 guy in his era for 4 chips. Come on, bro. Give that man his props. Now, LeBron, to me, like I said, my list goes MJ, Kareem, LBJ, 1, 2, 3. But number 10, Steph jumps in. So I love Steph as being the guy who now can say, I ran neck and neck. And for y'all that don't know, when Steph was coming out of college, LeBron had a fit that the Cavs didn't draft Steph. Steph went number 7 in that draft. The Cavs had a low 25, 26 pick. LeBron was going to ownership. Go get Steph. I want Steph. And everybody's like, he's a 6'2 guard. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, fast forward now and see what's happening. There's a reason why LeBron wanted Steph. And can you imagine if Steph would have been in Cleveland with LeBron, he would have never left and they'd have got 10 chips. They'd have got 8 to 10 chips. Nobody would have beat them boys, man. Steph running with LeBron, get up out of here. Get up out of here, man. Get up out. Because you don't need Clay. I mean, Kyrie. All you would have had to have was Kevin Love, Steph, and Bron, and they get 8 to 10 chips.
That is a hot take.
I don't care what you said. Steph's that guy.
You think they Bill Russell in the league, bro?
8 to 10 chips. Steph and LeBron on the same team. It's all over with, bro. It's all over with. Kevin Love, Steph, and LeBron on the same squad. It's over. It's over. Don't even count it up. They whooping everybody.
Wow.
Go ahead,
wow.
Mr. Hall. Mr. Hall,
so really, man, go ahead, man.
Talk.
Yeah, I gotta agree with him, man. I really think they'd be that dominant. You got LeBron James, durability. You got Steph Curry as the best shooter with the best playmaker. I don't see nobody stopping them. And to answer your question, I don't really think Steph Curry really damaged the legacy of LeBron James because, I mean, when you look at the eras, like teams didn't move the way the teams move now. Like you can really have a top 5 talent move to the top 3 team just that quick, just to run for a title. Right. And back then, I think it was a lot more competitive with these stars because they wanted to beat them. Like right now, you see KD. He went from Golden State. That wasn't enough. Then he went to Brooklyn and paired up with Kyrie. I think that just shows you how good of a player LeBron is, and that shows you how good of a player Stephen Curry is. The fact that he can change for whatever incident he has, and he can still be dominant. So, yeah, I don't think that impacts LeBron at all.
So we have a comment, and I'm definitely gonna get to the comment in this for Big G, but I have to disagree with both of you guys. And the reason why I say that it's a hot take is Steph has a great shooting coach in Golden State. He had Mark Jackson, who believed in him and gave him the green light. You wouldn't have had that in Cleveland. LeBron has never had a coach, and I don't know if that's because of LeBron or just LeBron's luck, but he's never had a coach outside of Spoelstra. But Spoelstra was, Dwayne Wade. That was Dwayne Wade's team. So I don't know how that dynamic would have worked, but if it did work, and we still have this version of Steph, then maybe. But there were things that went into Steph becoming Steph, and that all was there for Golden State. We have a comment real quick. Thomas said, "I'm curious to hear who G has right behind Steph on his list in the 11 to 15 range."
I'm gonna pull it up real quick. Go ahead, jump to the next.
Yeah, we're gonna let G talk about it real quick. But I will say this: we're gonna wrap up the NBA this year. What are you guys' thoughts on the NBA? Of course, Golden State winning it all. We kind of hit some highs on here. G said that he feels like the Grizzlies are an up and coming team, and they're his favorite to win it all. What are we feeling as far as the wrap up is concerned when we start talking about the NBA in totality this year? Talk to me about that, Kev.
My checklist, man, real quick. I think the Grizzlies can be a Western Conference Finals contenders. I won't say they favorites. There's been a lot of talk since the finals. He had a bad finals. Jason Tatum still top 5 right now. And yeah, definitely top 5 right now. Y'all can moan and groan everything y'all want to do. But man, my Cleveland Cavaliers making it to the second round next year. That's it for me.
Yeah, I think Cleveland is a highlight of this year. Dallas was a highlight for this year for me. Ja kind of stepped into the next. He stepped into the arena and threw his name in the hat to be one of the greatest ever. In his generation, and I'm not just talking about all out, but in his generation, he kind of stepped up to the plate. I do think Jason Tatum's gonna have to get better. This year he's gonna have to go in the gym. He's gonna have to lock up and really get better, because that alpha that we have been talking about, he's not displaying that. He's not being the dog of that. Jaylen Brown is more the dog of that team. And lastly, before I turn it over to G, man, always down, ain't shot a ball since April. Get him the heck out of LA, man.
You got the club superstar graphic?
I'm just saying, no, I need to get that. I need to get that. But always down has not shot a ball since April. Get him out of there.
LeBron just said he's gonna be a beast, and he working out hard this offseason.
Always down said it came out of always down mouth. He ain't shot a ball since April.
Well, maybe he's been lifting weights since April. He need to do that too.
Yeah, he definitely need to do that. He need to lift weights. He need to get on some calcium vitamins. He need to do a whole bunch, man. He's suffering. He's suffering. All right, G, man. Can you answer Thomas's question and then go ahead and give us your NBA wrap up?
Sure. 11, Wilt Chamberlain. 12, Dr. J, Julius Erving. 13, Akeem Olajuwon. 14, Moses Malone. 15, Oscar Robertson. That's my 5 after Stephen Curry at 10. So, but to talk about the wrap-up show with the NBA, I'm more excited for two things coming up with the NBA. This year's draft is coming up on the 26th, and when the free agent period hits, because I think there are a couple of teams with one or two moves could jump to the front of the pack to possibly win the chip. I've already told Tate off stage that I believe that the champ comes from the West again. But the issue is, to me, what are the Warriors going to do? I told Tate, and it might be a hot take, I think they're thinking about maybe moving on from Clay and Draymond because they got all them young puppies over there, man, that they got to pay. They got to pay Poole. They got to pay Wiggins. So they got to figure out what to do. So why not trade them guys and get a guy that wants to win a chip to come to Golden State is a very good basketball player. So I'm anxious to see how the draft goes, but I'm also anxious to see what goes down with this free agent period and trade period, because I think the league's going to get shook up with one or two moves that you won't even see coming. And they'll say, okay, look, this guy's going to this team to win the chip. So Golden State wants to keep it rolling. They got 4 and 8. They've been there 6 times. Let's keep it moving. Got to make a decision on Clay and Draymond. I think they got the young talent. It's time to move on from them and let these young talent guys go, and at the same time get another piece with a guy that's super hungry to win the chip.
Do you think that they take
the draft the 23rd though? This Thursday.
23rd. Yeah, I said 26. My bad.
Do you think that either one of them boys take Les Cho to stay?
No. I think Clay would be the one that would be, because they're the Splash Brothers, and I think Steph is going to fight to keep him. Right? I think when management's around and ain't nobody really talking, Steph gonna go in the room and be like, "Hey man, if you're gonna give up Clay, you better give me somebody that I know is a dog." So can they put two guys together with a draft pick, one or two draft picks, and swing this thing and bring a guy in that they know that's hungry for a chip, that's still a pivotal player, i.e. Bradley Beal, bring him in to help them solidify that team to go for another run. That's just my thinking about the Warriors. But I think from a big time standpoint, there are several teams in the league that can just make one move. And if they make one move, they can put themselves at the pinnacle, at the top to win the chip.
So what about you, Relly, man? Talk to me. But on your NBA wrap up here, man, what were your thoughts about the season that we just saw?
For us, I think right now, Boston is in play. This offseason is going to be intriguing for them, because I think what we learned from Jason Tatum is that this is where I kind of don't agree with you. I don't think Jason Tatum is a top 5 player yet. And I think that's because Jason Tatum is just he's not consistent on offense yet. He's not consistent enough. I feel like right now, JB has shown to be more of the alpha than Jason Tatum. Now, I do think Boston is one more season away from really unlocking what they need to unlock. So I do think they offseason, they're not going to go for no superstars. I think they need a couple more role players, probably another rim protector. And then as well, I think Memphis, this is going to be a very important offseason for them too, because I don't think they're going to be finals bound, but I do think they need another development season before they really take off. So I do think those two teams are the teams that I think we really need to eye on this offseason, because they're going to try to make some very key moves. It's going to be moves you wouldn't really think is really as substantial until that season start. But I think those two teams right there is eyeing what they can do in this offseason.
Agreed. I think when it comes to Boston, Boston's really going to have to figure this thing out, man. They're really going to have to figure this thing out.
Hey, Mod, I got the solution for the Celtics.
Well, we'll get to it.
2 words. It's 2 words. Rajon Rondo. That's the solution. Go ahead. Keep it going. That's the solution for the Boston Celtics.
We're definitely going to get to it here in just a minute. We're definitely going to get to it. So when we talk about the finals, just one thing about the game that stood out, and I just want to say the finals in totality, when we talk about this game, one thing that I noticed with the Celtics is that, and I'll say this across the board, there were teams that just they fell in love with the 3-ball. They watch Golden State throw up threes and kill them. And one thing you can't do when the teams shoot the 3 really good You can't score. You can't not score on your. You have to score. I don't care if you get 2 points. If you get a free throw, you got to score, because once you let a team go down and hit 5 threes and you don't score, you're down 15 that fast, right? And that's what happened to Boston. That's what happened to. They would be up, and then you look, and the next thing you know, it was Brick City. You had Marcus Smart, who's defensive player of the year, but he didn't play smart. He was just throwing the ball away, and I mean, threw away. Man, he was a walking turnover at some point. Then you had Jason Tatum throwing the ball away, and it wasn't like that they were playing such stifling defense. They were literally just throwing the ball away, right? And so when I get to it, when I think about what's happening, man, in the series in totality, you can't get to you got to dance with the girl who brought you to the prom. Period.
Right.
Point blank. You always
Right.
got to do that. So you got to stay true to the offense that you ran, and the offensive strategy that got you there. And I think Boston got away from it. And Golden State do exactly what it is that they do. They were putting it up. They were launching 3 balls. What do you got? What do you got for me, Tate?
Man, I mean, I don't disagree with you. I felt like in critical times, Boston was jacking up threes, and they didn't need to. Game 5 comes to mind when they was up in the third quarter, and it was like up by 5, and then Golden State made a little run, and the rest of the game, Boston was jacking up threes. I felt like they had an advantage with Al Horford and go down low, let Al do some work, but even he liked to shoot threes. But let's not forget, Boston went 9 for 9 in the fourth quarter, game 1, and came back on the 3-pointer. I mean, this is the NBA today. I mean, we can go ahead and say that, and it's some validity to it. But it's just the NBA game. They playing like cats in the NBA play today. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's just the way it go. And I also want to say, y'all do realize Jason Tatum was our first team all NBA. That right there puts you in top 5.
Understood.
In my humble opinion.
Understood. I get what you're saying, but this is what when we call championship pedigree, this is what we're saying. Champions know that you don't waste in the playoffs. Tell me if I'm wrong. You don't waste a possession. If you're going down there, you gotta score. So shooting a 3 is not the solution. Unless it's a wide open look, it's not a solution. It's not a solution. You miss a wide open look, that's cool. But if you dribble the shot clock down and then launch a 3, come on, bro. Come on. G, what you got, man, for the finals?
In game 6, Boston outshot. I mean, in game 5, Boston outshot Golden State in threes, in free throws, and something else they had better than Golden State. But they turned the ball over damn near 25 times. That's the game. In all games, the turnovers killed them more than missed 3-point shots.
Exactly. And that leads directly to what I'm saying and what I made the preference for before when we went into the segue. The answer for the Boston Celtics is Rajon Rondo. You have to have a veteran point guard sit down on that team, distribute the ball, put it in the position of the playmakers like Tatum and like Brown for them to get a victory and to win. Marcus Smart, his job is to play defense. Marcus Smart's job is not to distribute the ball, keep from turning over. Rajon Rondo will demand respect the moment he walks into that locker room. He's a free agent. He's been a Celtic before. He put a banner up in the rafters already. Bring him back, and maybe now Boston, because that's what they need. In order for Boston to make the next step, got to have a point guard who the players respect run that position. And I think Rondo is the perfect fit. He's going to mature the team and put them in a position to possibly get an NBA title.
And we'll talk about that tomorrow. We're going to talk about NBA free agents. Your finals on the finals, Mr. Hall. The finals on the finals. Your final takeaway on the finals.
My final takeaway is that I think Boston learned because I do know I kind of do agree with Tate though. Boston did shoot a lot of threes, but it is times where they shouldn't shoot as many threes, but I understand it is the day they live in. So it's like you have a lot of teams that have no business shooting the amount of threes they take. But when you playing against like a team like Golden State, it's kind of hard not to when their offense is so overwhelming where if you're not shooting threes, Golden State can very easily stretch a lead. And if you look at every second half of Golden State, that happened exactly that. Like it's been games where Boston, I mean, for any other team, that was a good shooting night. They just played an even better offense. So, and I understand what you're saying. Like you have to have identity. Each team needs to have a different identity. Miami tried it with that defensive prowess. Cleveland tried to do it with that tall ball lineup. But sometimes, like when it gets to that closing moment, especially when you're playing these veteran competitive teams like Golden State, sometimes it comes down to how many threes you shot in the end of the box score. And fortunately, I think that's why Boston lost, because their offense was just too inconsistent, particularly with Jason Tatum. That's why I don't really consider him a top 5 talent right now, because and it's not his fault. This is his first time in there, but you can't have those type of nights with a team like Golden State.
Right. I agree.
Definitely. I understand that. Now, switching gears, this is a part where, normally we would do a whole show on this, but we're going to devote some time and sit down and really talk about the NBA draft. Tate said the draft is coming on the 23rd, which is Thursday, if we're thinking right. That's Thursday, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask this question first. Before we actually get into the dichotomy and the first 10 picks of the draft, who can really help themselves the most in this draft? Who do we feel like can help themselves the most in this draft? We know Dallas has already traded away 26 to get Christian Wood, which I think is a great pick. I think that was a great pickup, and he's really going to help them. But who do you guys think? I need to hear from you. Who do you think can help themselves the most in this draft? And we'll start with you, Relly, man.
I think the Thunder. I think the Thunder. I think right now the Thunder, and it's open season because I think the player they want can very well fall in their hands. But I think the Thunder, this is going to be determine how well them getting all these picks matter long term. And ultimately, I think they have a couple of players they really can choose from, even if they don't get the player I think that's going to fall in the second round. So I think the Thunder ultimately, this is their draft.
I think the Thunder need prayer, but okay, yeah. So they need prayer. They done had so many picks, dream picks. That they got Harden, they got KD, they got the Westbrook, but nothing's ever happened. Maybe it's the tornadoes, maybe they cursed in Oklahoma. Maybe that's what that is. Nothing good comes from Oklahoma. Anyway, G, talk to me, man. Tell me who you think can help themselves the most.
I got another hot take, man. Another blockbuster, man. Y'all gonna love this one, man. The New Orleans Pelicans can help themselves the most. The New Orleans Pelicans pick at number 8. And I believe they're going to put that pick together with, I'm not going to say what player, to pull a superstar down to New Orleans and make a run. I really could see a Dame Lillard, a Bradley Beal, one of those type guys coming down to New Orleans and making a run for that chip. So I think that number 8 pick with a player on their current roster, and you dangle that out there for because there's a guy that I've been on the show, which I don't think it would be almost asinine to trade him, but he ain't played in 2 years. And what can you get for him? And you get that in that number 8 pick because they want to win. And I think they got the formula, man, by adding one piece. You add one big-time ball player to that team, and look out, man. Look out. So I'm calling New Orleans. Hey, if you're going to win the chip, you're a small market team, now's the time. Let's go get it. Let's go get the chip, man.
So Bradley Beal, we've heard news that Dame ain't trying to leave. Dame is trying to get people down there with him. So I don't know if they would pull a Dame Lillard out, and then they were talking about Bradley Beal. We'll get into that on the free agent when we talk that. But Tate, who do you think can help themselves the most in this draft?
I don't disagree with Big G. I got 3 teams real quick. I mean New Orleans, but it's not going to be trading away Zion, and Dame don't want. They just broke Dame and CJ up. CJ in New Orleans now, and in the playoffs, Brandon Ingram balled out. I think they're gonna stay at that pick and stay at that spot and draft somebody that can help them. But Zion coming back healthy, maybe 20 pounds lighter, with CJ McCollum with a full training camp, and Brandon Ingram and Valanciunas. I think they're a legit playoff squad. So I think they're gonna make that pick. And I also got Charlotte because they was in the play-in last year in the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm anxious to see what Cleveland gonna do, man. I mean, they got the number 14 pick, which is they're gonna get a good player, or they could trade it away with Sexton and bring in a big fish. It's just so many ways they can go. So I'd say agree with New Orleans, Charlotte, and Cleveland. Charlotte gonna get a center. They're gonna get the boy Mark Williams from Duke, or the dude from Duran from Memphis. They gonna get that need a center.
Tate, I got a question. Do the Cavs go big game hunting with the pick and Colin Sexton and another guy?
There you go. I thought about that too, G. I thought about the fact that they pick and Colin Sexton and go big game hunting. You go big game. I mean, listen. That will fetch a swindler's market right there. I'm telling you for real.
I don't disagree. I would do that. I mean, I like Colin Sexton, but they proved what they could do last year without him. He just don't fit to me. I mean, I don't want a small backcourt with 2 6'1" guards back there. I think you go ahead and roll with Karis LeVert this year at the 2 guards, see how he does. Maybe you extend him, maybe you don't. Package Colin Sexton, package the pick, and if you got package Chetty Osman, go ahead and package him with it too, and bring something good back. We need a legit 3. I don't know who that is, but I'd take the boy from the Pistons, Grant. I'd take him.
Okay.
So we already know Big G is trying to trade off Zion because Zion ain't played, and he said Zion can't stay off the beignets.
Yeah. He love him.
Hey, Big G, they gonna get Zion the max.
They have to. They get
ready to.
He's worth it. I mean, but he's not. But he's worth it. But he's not. But he's worth it. But he's not. You see what I'm saying? They are the definition of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Like, do you trade him or do you keep him? But that's just me.
That's a hard one right there. That's a hard one. So we got the draft. Let's go ahead and explore at pick number 1. You take it from here, Tate. Go ahead and let's explore and let's look into it, man. At the number 1 pick, who we got taking that pick?
The number 1 pick is in it Orlando?
Yep.
Yeah. And
so who we think is going to go to Orlando at number 1? We think it's Chet?
Nah. I got Jabari Smith going number 1.
Yes, sir.
Got Jabari Smith going number 1. All right, and Jabari Smith is from
Auburn.
Okay. So everybody agree here on the panel that we got Jabari Smith going number 1. So at number 2, who's the number 1? The number 2 pick?
OKC,
and they need prayer. And Jesus isn't in the draft.
Yeah, so let's see who Relly pick if his guy fall for OKC. Who do they take, and do he make a difference? Ain't nobody made a difference in OKC.
Nobody.
Nobody. Who you got, Riley? Who you got, man?
I think they draft Chet. I think that's the only play sense for OKC. They need the center. I think right now, I mean, if you look at how OKC building their team, they building their team on just people who just tall and unicorns and lengthy who got the.
Well, really, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
You're talking about playing him at center. At big, he doesn't play center. I know he weigh less than a ham sandwich. So you can push him around. You know what I'm saying?
He's but he do weigh 195 though.
I mean, but when you look at the league now, I mean, that's all you see at the center position is those skinny frames, frail centers. Like centers don't. I mean, you have your exceptions. You got your JoJos and you got your
Joel Embiid,
and those are big boys. But
yeah,
I mean, everybody else is 205, maybe pushing 215 at the center spot.
Not Steven Adams, not Valanciunas. I don't know how much DeAndre Ayton weigh, but I'm guessing
Joker.
He bigger than Chet. I know.
Yeah, I said
Joker and Embiid. Yeah.
I mean, what he wouldn't even be able to handle Giannis.
Hey,
I mean,
I could be wrong, but I'm old enough to remember a big guy that went to Gonzaga by the name of Adam Morrison and Jordan took him. He was a bust. I got a feeling Chet gonna be a bust.
Wow.
He could be, but I think I'm almost certain OKC is gonna draft Chet. Like I don't see them drafting anybody else at that position. So, like I'm almost think they locked with that player.
So what is his ceiling? What is Chet's ceiling, Riley? What is his ceiling?
I've seen that look on your face. I've seen that look on your face.
The Dallas Mavericks just got rid of his ceiling.
Oh,
Porzingis.
Wow.
Porzingis is his ceiling.
Wow. I want to see what our guests say. What's his ceiling, man? What's his ceiling?
I would hate to agree with him, but I think it could be KP. I think that is what they hoping for. A stretch center that's just lengthy. They hope they can bulk him up. But I mean, I think that's what they really looking for. Like I don't think they expecting a JoJo out of him or maybe be a Jokic. They just looking for something that's just different. Like they just hoping that one of these new age centers is what's gonna be their future. Like, cause I mean, you just look at how they building their team. Their whole team is unnatural. Like Shea, Josh Giddey, like everybody, Lou Dort, like it's just an unnatural team. They just hoping it's unnatural enough where they can be the next trend. And that's why I think Chet is that. That's what they're gonna.
All I can say is they can just ship Chet down there in the summer to work with Zion. Zion know how to put weight on, so he can help him put on some weight. Zion will be his weight coach. At the number 3 pick, who we got, Tate?
Houston.
H-Town. Who y'all got H-Town picking up? We'll start with you, G. I know you ready. Who you got Houston picking up, man?
Pablo, man. Pablo should go number 2.
Yeah, I agree with. That's what I was gonna say.
Well, Pablo should go quietly. Pablo could go number 1. Pablo, that thing, bro. 6'10", 250, and can shoot and handle the basketball. Oh, come on, bro. Come on, bro. That boy is the truth. I sat down on film. The only thing I don't like about him is that when crunch time is on his motor, it's just something about his motor. And that's just, I think, because he's young and he's used to being in the game where he's the guy can take over. But that Pops, man, you can't teach 6'10", 250. You can't teach that. You know, that's a real basketball player right there, man.
You can't teach it. You can't. So, Tate, you agree? You got Pablo going to H-Town?
Yeah, I agree. I would put Pablo at 2. I don't even know. But so Chet would have to go 3 in my mock draft. But yeah, Pablo would go 2. Paulo, not Pablo. Paulo.
Yeah.
Hey, we know it's something. It's Ranchero, Ranch Dressing. Whatever his name is, I know that he ready. So, Relly, you agree? You got Pancho?
Yeah, I got him 3. Yeah. I
All
think
right.
anybody else, they trading somebody confirmed on Houston. If they draft what's the one guard they saying Houston might take a chance on? If they do that, then Kevin Porter Jr. is definitely gone.
I think Kevin Porter Jr. is gone anyway.
Jaden
Ivey. Yeah. If they draft him, I don't see why Houston would draft him 3. But if they do, Kevin Porter Jr. gone.
But I think he's gone anyway. I think they were going to use him as a trade piece anyway. I mean, Houston is a science project right now. They just trying to find something. They throwing stuff at the wall to see what's going to work. You know, because for so many years the coaching was just horrible.
Hey,
but let's get to the number 4 pick.
Relly, we like the Cavs, right?
Yeah.
Just know my boy Ma like all the Texas teams, so he just pick and choose today if it's going to be the Mavs, the Spurs, or the Rockets.
True statement.
Hey, I love Texas, man. So number 4 pick. Who we got at the number 4 slot?
Sacramento picking number 4.
All right, so Tate, who you got Sacramento picking?
I got Sacramento picking Jaden Ivey.
Yeah.
The guard out of Purdue.
Purdue, whose mom's
I
a
agree.
coach. Youngster's a killer, man.
He's a killer, athletic freak.
Youngster's a killer, and he can take over a game anytime he wants to. He got swag. He got moxie. He's very, very calm and cool. I love him. I love the way he plays game. I like it. I like the pick, man. I like the pick.
You got to feel bad for going to Sacramento, right?
Well, they got some pieces down there, man. They got some pieces.
That's what I was going to ask. OKC worse than Sacramento, ain't they?
Yeah, definitely. Okay, hey, I told you, OKC need a prayer meeting. They need a revival. They need, I mean, for real, they need some real hope down there because ain't nothing going. I mean, listen, you got. I'm not going to beat a dead horse, but you got to understand. I forget how many picks, first round picks they've had, but they've had a whole bunch of first round picks, and nothing's ever changed.
Yeah,
nothing's ever changed. If you keep picking first at some point, when you gonna realize that you probably just need to sell the franchise and let them go somewhere else? You know what I'm saying? I mean, literally, because
back to Seattle. They need
win.
to go back to Seattle, be the Super Sonics.
Yeah, I can't win. I can't win.
Yeah.
They can't win. They can't win there, man. It's something else. So at 4, so who you got, Relly? You agree?
I don't. I don't. This is where I draft somebody a little earlier than they probably are projected. I would draft Jalen Duren if I was Sacramento. I like his energy. Like, I think with Sabonis, I feel like they can actually start him out the gate. And I feel like, well, since Holmes did beat this situation, I feel like they're gonna end up trading Holmes this draft. Like, if they don't trade this pick, I think they drafting Jalen Duren.
Oh, that's a big jump, man. That's a big jump. Yeah, man, that's a huge jump.
That's the kind of stuff as a GM that'll get you fired.
It could, but it could also.
You better hope it work out.
I think for the Kings, I think it can. The only reason I'm just not hot with like Jaden Ivey Sacramento, because it's like, what was the point of you trading Tyrese Halliburton and Buddy Hield if you was going to draft another guard for Sacramento? Yeah. And then you still got Davion Mitchell that you drafted last season. Yeah. So it's like if you was going to keep getting guards, what was the point of you making the Sabonis trade? Like, if you really believed in the guards who was already better.
If you suggested that they trade down, that's what I would try and do first. Somebody want Jaden Ivey at that pick. I might try and trade down and get better value from my pick and pick up something else.
But you know the Sacramento though.
Yeah.
So Sacramento is not going to do the first logical decision. Like, they will make this harder than what it got to be.
Hey man, Sacramento down there in they draft room smoking. Everybody, Pat, Snoop in their draft room.
That's Vlade down there, man.
Hey, Snoop down there with Vlade passing them around. You know what I'm saying?
I can look. I can see the Kings trade up though. I can see the Kings trade up to try to get Pablo. I can see it because that's
Paulo, man. It's Paulo, not Pablo.
If the boy from Duke is a dog, because you know who he plays like. You know who he plays like? Christian Webber. That's who he plays like. He plays like Webber, and I can see Vlade saying, "I see Webber. I see my Webber. Let me go get him."
That might be a good comp, man. Little 2020-ish, but yeah, good comp.
Yeah, I like it. So who we got? Number 5 pick. Who we got picking?
Detroit,
the number 5 slot.
Detroit.
So Detroit has a whole bunch of young talent. They had the number 1 pick last year. Definitely look like they have the beginnings of something special in Detroit. So who you guys see Detroit scooping at that number 5 pick? And we'll start with you, Relly.
I think this is where Jaden Ivey gets drafted. I think Jaden Ivey would be
with Cade Cunningham.
Yeah, I think you put him at, because I think they're doing the same thing with Killian. They have him at a big point guard, and then they just have a actual scoring too alongside him. So I think that would work. I don't think they really high with Killian, honestly, because he's just too injury prone already.
Yeah. So Tate, do you agree? Of course, you had Jaden Ivey going earlier, but
off the board already. So for Detroit, I got Detroit. I got them. I'm jumping this player just a little bit. Not much as Relly jumped Duran, but I'm gonna say Detroit take Dyson Daniels. 6'6". Dyson Daniels is 6'7", shooting guard, small forward. To G League, played in Australia. He kind of like he's real versatile. He can shoot it. He got to work on his shot, but he can handle. He's a playmaker, a passer. So you put him next to Cade Cunningham. Now your backcourt is 6'7" at both positions. You got good length and defense, and Detroit is still developing, so they don't need a win now piece. They need a developmental piece to go with what they're trying to build in the next couple years.
Big G.
I think they trade Jeremy Grant, get a guard, and they draft Keegan Murray out of Iowa, 6'8", 225 forward that plays like a big guy. And he's lethal on that box, but he's also sort of like a 3-and-D guy. I saw all those Big Ten teams play all over and over and over. Iowa, Purdue, Michigan State. And I like Murray as a 3-and-D'er in Detroit. That
would have been my next pick, Big G, for Detroit.
So we got to the number 5 pick. We got that first 5, right? Out this next 5, who do you think is going to score a player that's going to actually be like? And I'm even going to say it like this. I'm going to do it like this. We had later round players that have developed, becoming like some dope individuals on the court. Who do you think is going to get a late round gem? I just got to hear from Relly, from G, and from Tate. Who you think between 5 and the last pick of the first round, who you think is going to get a gem out of those guys? Who's grabbing a gem? And I'll start with Tate, because I'm looking at Tate's face and I think he already got him somebody.
No, I think a steal is going to be Jeremy Sochan from Baylor. I think the upside is just off the chart. So he's projected here in the mock draft I'm looking at to go 13 to Charlotte. But I mean, I think he's a different maker. This Big 12 ball, Ma, you watch him at Baylor with his blonde hair. He's a baller.
The thing. Well, I'm not even finna get into it because Baylor's like our little sisters, but I mean, honestly, I will say this.
Brother, the past what? 5 years?
You gotta.
They got chip. They got a chip, Tate. They got a chip. They got a chip down there.
Last time the Texas Longhorn won a national championship.
We never have in basketball.
They got a chip. They got a chip in Baylor. They got a chip. I'm gonna tell you my pick that I think is gonna make a difference. That Jalen Duren that Riley was really high on, I think he falls to the New Orleans Pelicans at 8. And I think as far as a developmental 6'11", 250 center, you already got Valanciunas. You got Zion big behind. Now the pressure's on Zion to play.
They got the one cat Hayes too, though.
Yeah, Jackson.
But I know that they got a gang of forwards and centers. But the pressure, Texas. Right? But the pressure now goes on Zion.
Jackson
Hayes went to Texas. Yeah. But the pressure's on Zion. I think they draft the kid.
He from Cincinnati though.
Yeah, he's from Cincinnati, but he went to Texas.
His dad played pro football.
Yeah.
Yep. But I think Jalen Duren, 6'11", 250, can play center, power forward. Is basically Valanciunas' replacement. Super athletic, really can play. Zion, you better show up, or we're gonna dangle you out there like some leftover trash.
Zion ain't going nowhere, man.
Well, that boy,
hey, man, I'm telling you,
that boy trying to get Zion off. I'm telling you, he is trying to get Zion.
Hey, you know what though? You know what? I'm being biased because I got a certain place I want Zion to be traded to.
To the Knicks, New York,
to the New York Knicks.
To the Knicks.
He got to come home to the Knicks, man. We need him bad, man.
G sitting there like Rick James. G sitting there like Dave Chappelle and Rick James talking about come home.
We need him bad in New York, man. He already done said he want to play there. Let's go and ship him out there now, man.
Oh my
Get
God.
him in shape in New
Really,
York,
last one. Who you think is a late round gem?
I think Adrian Griffin Jr. gonna drop a little bit. I think because I think Adrian Griffin, like every time I see him, I just really like what I see from him. He's an actual good size small forward. He got a good motor, defensive. Like he can do a lot. He's athletic. Like I just feel like he brings a lot for a lot of teams, and a lot of teams need a player like him. Like my other player, I was gonna say Mark Williams because you get a cheap young center. Rim protector, decent size, but yeah, I think Adrian Griffin gonna drop a little bit. I think he's gonna be the gem in this draft.
Yeah,
I like it. I like it.
Hey, I got a question to ask. One question. Where does everybody think the kid from Kansas is gonna go? The kid from Kansas.
He go. I got
don't
him
even
going.
know.
I mean, he could go anywhere between 12 and 16. You know, I've seen a lot of mocks with the Cavs taking him. I wouldn't be mad, but I think with this pick, the Cavs should gamble on upside. You know what I mean? Like take a swing. Like if Sochin is there, if Malachi Branham is there, somebody with a little more higher ceiling. I mean, because dude is like a 5th-year senior now.
Yeah, he is.
And they won a national championship, and he's really good, but he's at his ceiling probably.
So what you think, Riley? Do you think that he'll go high or low, past 14 or below?
I think the reason I say no is only because of the rumors that came up with Cleveland. But I think Ochai gonna drop down a little bit too. I think Malachi also gonna drop, but I don't know. I just it's something about Ochai that I just don't trust about his game. I don't think it's gonna translate in the NBA.
Shooting threes and playing defense. I mean, hey, Ma, that's what's your boy?
KJ
Adams. That's his OG.
Yeah, definitely. So switching gears a little bit, trades. G had already started talking about free agents and trades and how teams can actually help themselves. There's a lot of possibilities out there. I just want each one of us to discuss two of the things that we think that would make a big difference in the league. I'm actually just going to start with the one in which I heard, and I think it will be really good because the other one from Utah, the center, what's his name? What's my guy's name?
Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, Gobert. They were talking about Gobert to Chicago, and then that got ixnayed. But I'm saying if you get Donovan Mitchell and Jimmy Buckets in the same backcourt, Lord Jesus, and they got another big. All they would need is another big, and that's the trade. That is the trade and the rumors that are happening right now. Donovan Mitchell and you team him up with Jimmy Buckets. Oh my God, who start? What? First of all, in the East, Jaylen Brown and Tatum, that's a run for your money, man. That's a run for your money. I don't. That's a run for your money, man. I don't know that Jaylen Brown can stay with Donovan Mitchell. I don't know that, and that fixes your problem. That fixes your problem if you're Miami. Other than the fact that you need another big, he don't need to do nothing but just be there to get do what Williams did for Boston this year. You need another big. But other than that, man, whew. So I'm gonna start with Tate, man. You got two of them right now, man. You got two trades that could shake the league up and free agency where you can see people going.
I'm gonna mention the trade that Relly talked about on this podcast, man, and it's not nothing earth shattering. I think it's just a fit. I think that's Mike Conley for Kevin Love. I think Cleveland needs a good backup point guard. I think you move Kevin Love. You know, he played good last year. It offers more minutes for the 3-man big rotation of Allen, Mobley, and Markkanen. Markkanen then can be the 6th man off the bench. I mean, so I like that kind of even swap. Mike Conley for Kevin Love frees up some of Cleveland's bigs, gives a solid elite backup point guard who really has been a starter his whole career. You know, so I kind of like that move, and that's just a surface move. That ain't nothing earth shattering, but I think the fit for my team, that's what I'd like to see. That's one of mine.
And what's your second one?
My second one, I'm gonna stick with fixing the Cavs, man. You know,
Go ahead.
I gotta trade Colin Sexton, man. I gotta trade Colin Sexton. If I gotta package Colin Sexton, Okoro, and the pick to bring in somebody like a Bradley Beal, and maybe they want marketing instead of Okoro, and I would do that too, to bring in like a Bradley Beal, because Kevin Love will be off the books next year, and then so that money would then be a lot of Bradley Beal's money. You know what I mean? And we're not paying Sexton because trading him. You got Karis LeVert making $18 million a year. That comes. He got 1 year left on his contract. He come off. LeVert slide right there next to Darius Garland with Mobley and Allen. We'll figure out the three as we go. We could draft the three this year, but then we talking some serious Eastern Conference contention.
Okay. All right. So Big G, we'll let Relly back clean up. Big G, what moves you think that can make you two of them you think that can make that would seriously shake up the dynamic of the NBA?
Man, the Philadelphia 76ers trade James Harden to Tobias Harris. 2, the Washington Wizards for Bradley Beal and 2 other players off their team and a draft pick. They want to win now. Embiid ain't got that much. He's not old, but he ain't young.
So the Wizards giving up a draft pick?
The Wizards give it up for Harden and Tobias Harris. And Tobias Harris.
Harden and Tobias Harris contract?
Or vice versa. Philly give up.
That's a lot, G.
That's a lot.
We'll flip it around. But I think Tobias Harris and James Harden is up out of Philadelphia.
I think Philly would have to give up a draft pick to get Bradley Beal in there because
cool.
I mean, Harden is just going to sign the 1 year extension.
Cool.
And he washed. He with Whirlpool Draymond Green.
Cool.
He looked like it. He looked like he'd been in the club way too much. That Joker looked like he done been in the club. I don't know what Harden do. Man, Harden looked like that dude. You know how when you like in middle school from like 3rd grade to like 6th grade, how you get kind of chubby and your mama buy you them pants that, with the Huskies? Yeah. He looked like he wearing Husky shorts.
You made me think of something. Relly. On your latest video I saw, man, about the Cleveland Cavaliers uniform. You had some dudes with the new shirt on, and the dude in the middle, little black dude, had some tight jeans.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, that's where I see James Harden. James Harden looked like he wearing Husky shorts out there. Them Huskies, you know what I'm saying? I was like, James, what is going on, man? But all right, Relly, man, you back clean up, man. So what you see? What 2 trades that could
Big G only got 1 trade. I want
G, you got one more. You got
I want
one
Big
more.
G to fix the Lakers.
You need
ain't no way to fix Los Angeles, man. There ain't no way to do it, man. The only way to do it is you gotta break the bank. But I'm gonna throw a crazy one out there.
You always do.
LeBron comes home to the Cavs. Trade Sexton, marketing, the draft pick to LA for LBJ.
It'll take 1 more draft pick, but then it's a possibility.
2 draft picks, marketing, Sexton to Los Angeles for LBJ.
If he go home,
LBJ home. Bring him. Come on home. Come on home and get the chip. Come on home and get the chip. Get the chip. Get the chip. Mobley, Allen. Yep, the little point guard. Woo, Gerald LeVert, Karis LeVert. Woo, God.
And LeBron played the 3?
Yeah, LeBron played the 3.
I like that.
Playing the 3 for the chip. Rajon Rondo, re-sign him, keep a couple of veterans around him, and bring Bond home for the chip.
Okay.
Fire it up, Ma. Fire it up.
Hey, man, listen. That is a hot take. That is a hot take. But it's a good one. It's a hot take, though. Relly, man, what you got? Talk to me.
My first trade, I think Atlanta Atlanta has to trade John Collins. That
Ooh.
has to be handled. Like, I don't know for what, but John Collins has to be traded. John Collins, he doesn't work with Trae Young. Like, he wants the ball more than I think he really should have the ball in his hands. He feel like he's better than Trae Young. He feel like he can carry a team. I just don't think he can do that. But I think, honestly, I think to a lesser degree, I think he's just going to be another KP, just shorter right now. So I think they got to trade him while he's hot. The only thing that might be a little bad is his contract is not very nice for a lot of teams. But I think they got a young talent in DeAndre Hunter they could use to get that done. Maybe they throw in picks instead, but I think they still got enough picks and players to really make that move. But yeah, I think the first one you got to move John Collins, and the second one, that's where you go to Charlotte. They got to trade Gordon Hayward. I think right now, I love Gordon Hayward, but they can use something else. I think he got hurt at the wrong time for the Charlotte Hornets, but I think also the Charlotte Hornets, I think they, to an extent, they kind of proved they don't really need Gordon Hayward. I think they can use any other talent there, any player, and just give them the minutes, honestly.
They're about to pay Miles Bridges. They got to pay him to play the three.
Yeah, that too. So,
and their coach walked on him. He said, "No, I'm staying to Golden State." He like, "I ain't fooling with Mike Jordan, man. I'm staying in Golden State, man. I'm gonna stay over there with Kirbich. keep it going. Keep it going. I ain't going to fool with Mike."
Well, Kurt Kane told him, this is my speculation. Hey, man, you don't be leaving in another year or two, and this is all you.
Yeah.
And I mean, but that makes sense though. Steve Kerr, what else do you have to accomplish? You know what I'm saying? 9 tips, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, the thing that's crazy about this, and I heard this today, he has 9 championships. He has 5 as a player, right? He has 5 as a player. He was never the man on none of those teams. He is another Bob Horry. You know what I'm saying? These guys just in the right place at the right time, getting chips after chip after chip.
I'd argue Steve Kerr was a more of a factor than Bob Horry.
No, they were the same.
Yeah, because Bob Horry played for Houston. Bob Horry hit some big shots.
Big shot, they call him Big Shot Bob. They were the same. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They call him Big Shot Bob.
But his impact on the game outside those games, he had them big end of the game shots. Bob Horry won averaging 14, 5, and 8.
That's why I say they're the same. But I
think Steve Kerr was if you, I don't know the average. If you look at it, I think Steve Kerr. I'm old enough to remember Steve Kerr playing at Arizona when he was an All-American.
Yeah, Steve Kerr was a dog at Arizona.
Elliott.
He was a dog at Arizona. So, but man, listen, I want to make sure that we say this before we actually get to parting shots. I want to say again, Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, man. Definitely the ones who are surrogate fathers, the ones who are stepfathers, the ones who just stepped in and begin to be a father to a child and help shape, mold, and direct them. You don't know how hard that is to be. And I take my hat off to you. I commend you for your efforts. Definitely, I salute you. It is your day, and I hope that it was filled with love and you got a whole bunch of honor and reverence. We definitely want to talk about Juneteenth for a minute. Tate tried to play me in the whole state of Texas, but it is the truth.
I didn't try to play y'all. I'm just saying y'all was doing a little more work for a few more years.
Yeah. A little. They was doing a whole lot of work.
they had us out there. Massa had us out there in the field, getting it for at least 2 more years, man. They wouldn't let us. Wasn't no internet, wasn't no radio. So, we found out that we were free 2 years later. I mean, I remember the first time that I heard that when I was a kid, I was like, man, that's kind of messed up. And I still to this day think it's kind of messed up. But what I will say is I am so glad that it was made a national holiday. It's a national holiday. And, everybody observes it. It's a good thing. I'm glad of it. Give us our free, you know what I'm saying? Definitely. I'm still waiting on my 40 acres and a mule. I guess we'll never get that. You know what I'm saying? But definitely everybody who celebrated Juneteenth and the parade, the barbecues. I hope you guys had a blast. Parting shots, man. Parting shots. I need to hear it. G, I need you to lock and load because you're going last. I need for you to give me your parting shot.
Man, I'm calling everybody's attention to these January 6th hearings, man, that been going on. There's been a lot of information coming out, man, about how this whole thing, and I never doubted the whole time. This whole thing was a plot and a plan of Donald Trump and all his enablers and people that worked for him to overthrow the 2020 election. He knew he lost, and he just started the big lie. The election was rigged, they cheated. But if you remember, if you go back far enough in 2016, when he was running against Hillary Clinton, he was saying it's going to be rigged. It's going to be this, that, and other, because he thought he was going to lose. When he won, he was surprised. If you remember his acceptance speech that night that did say he won the election, he was just in shock. So, a lot of stuff coming out, a lot of his own people, Republicans, telling the truth now because they've been subpoenaed to testify in front of the 1-6 committee. And, just keep your eye on that. I mean, it could be some potential charges coming up against a lot of those people, that was trying to just overthrow the election and have a coup.
All right. And parting shots, really, man. What you got to say? And also, man, make sure that you shout out your podcast and give out that information as well. But give me your parting shots for the show.
It's just really just thanks, man. Like, it's a lot of people I just feel like really paved the way, that just paved the way for me to even have an opportunity. Like even when you say Happy Father's Day and just Happy Juneteenth, like it's so many of those ancestors that really made this possible for us to even really make a podcast like this and even make content like this, and even have the opportunity to, like I said, make content, go to college, just be, free. And, mine's is just really just being, just thanks. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, like I've always, and me personally, I've always felt like I've been a humble person. And it's just like, I really thank those who came before me, because they kind of paved the way for me to really be who I am, and everybody else to be who they am. Like, it's because I can just imagine, like, if I was in those later times, like, I don't think I would be able to handle the stuff and ridicule, like even with not, I know y'all probably seen the thing on TikTok where they trying to say MLK was not as great as he was as a statement. And I just feel like stuff like that in today's span is just, it's unfortunate, because it's like, it's a lot of people that could not withstand what he did and what he went through. And for me, I'm thankful that MLK took that stand, took that charge, and was able to take that ridicule for people to really be able to be free, have a free mind, and be together. And I feel like those type of things is like, we take that for granted because we don't have to do it now. But if he was in that same position, I don't think, we would really be able to sustain like that. So it's really just, I'm just thankful.
Yeah, man. I appreciate that. And I can hear that. And I second it. Definitely a great day and a great time. And, to be able to just do sports podcasting, bro, like this is, these are things that weren't ever done, in years past. And to be able to get these three guys, man, together and talk sports, bro, I love it, man. And this was literally born out of a phone conversation. We had a phone conversation and we said, you know what? Let's make it to where everybody else, the whole world, can get in on these conversations, because we feel like we know it all. So, definitely we were able to do that, man.
Relly didn't shot himself out, though.
Right,
hey, man,
I got that. That's where I was going. That's where I was going.
Brown fan, though?
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I'm a Browns fan, but I don't watch football like that. Like, okay. And it's mainly because I didn't really play football because I was too scared. I went to a school where when you played one sport, you had to play all of them. And once I got hit, that was it. That wasn't my sport no more. And I just wasn't But yeah, you can. All my content is on Relly Hall. So if anybody go over there, that's where I do all my podcasts, all my regular videos, and all the links in there. You know, I'm probably the worst when it comes to like advertising myself. But yeah, you know, I'm thankful that y'all got me on here because you know I've been watching.
Well, we're gonna have you back after the. We're definitely gonna have you back after the draft so we can talk basketball thoroughly. We're gonna get it in and make sure that we do it. I think Kev and Big G will probably lead that, but have you back so we could thoroughly get on this basketball and kind of work it out. Big G, your parting shots, bro. I need to hear you, brother.
Man, y'all know how I get on, man. I hot take it like there ain't no tomorrow, man. So, you know, my parting shot has always got to be something hot and something fresh, man. So my hot take is that the Cleveland Browns will nullify Deshaun Watson's contract and they will have Baker Mayfield come back and play quarterback for the 2022 NFL season. That's my hot take. I think that Sean is looking at it's all over. You can kiss the baby. He's not gonna play.
Adios, muchachos.
Adios, muchachos. He's not gonna play this season, and the Browns are gonna backtrack and try to get Baker. And Baker could save his career and actually could become the savior in Cleveland.
Hey, Big G, real quick. On that note, on the Steeler podcast I did earlier, man, I said a Browns fan told me that the Browns should trade Baker to Carolina straight up for Sam Darnold, fix both their problems. Baker don't come back to Cleveland. He can go play at Carolina. They get a decent quarterback, at least equivalent to maybe what Baker can do to replace Deshaun Watson. You think that's a potential fit?
No. Nobody wants Sam Darnold trash, man. Don't nobody wants Sam Darnold, man. Baker, so I'm going to say this. I'm going to leave it alone. Baker's not trash. Baker just was in a situation where the expectation level is so high, and he wants to be the man where he's more of a manager. But I think now more than ever, he might be the possible solution to salvage the Brown season. I think it's a wrap for Deshaun Watson.
Well, you know, we all have our opinions, and we will find out once these verdicts are being handed down. We thank you guys for you know, just hanging out with us during this time and talking basketball and talking the season and talking everything that we have talked. Definitely make sure that you like and subscribe to this podcast. Make sure you like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube and Twitch so that when we go live, definitely you will get that notification, man. For myself, for Tate, for Big G, and Relly, man, thank you for coming on. We out of here. Yeah. We'll holla at you. Peace.